Last year, McDonald's earned $8.5 billion. Its return on equity was minus 478%. Not a loss, not a typo. One of the most profitable companies on earth with a return so negative the number stops meaning anything at all. Nothing went wrong, nobody broke a rule. It happened because return is a fraction, and for 10 years, somebody has been shrinking the bottom of it. This is the number that sells you everything. Let's take it apart. Strip everything away. A return answers one question: I put money in, how much came back out? You put $100 into the lemonade stand. At the end, you have 120. You made $20 on 100, a 20% return. That is it, that is the whole idea. Everything else in investing is an argument about three things. What counts as the money that came back? What counts as the money you put in? And the one everybody forgets, how long it took. Because here is a question you should never be able to answer. This investment returned 100%, good or bad. You cannot know. Over 1 year, that is spectacular. Over 40 years, it is worse than doing nothing. A return without a time attached to it is not information, it is decoration. So let's build the real formula the one companies are measured by: return on equity. In plain words, the profit a company made divided by the money the owners have in it. Two inputs, both come from documents you can open in about a minute. The top, net income statement, the bottom line, the number we took apart last time. The bottom, shareholders' equity, balance sheet, the very last section. And equity has its own tiny formula: everything the company owns minus everything it owes. What would be left for the owners if you settled up today? Let's do it small first. A company earns $10, the owners have $100 in it. 10 divided by 100, a 10% return on equity. Now a real one, Microsoft's most recent financial year. Net income, $101.8 billion. Shareholders' equity, $343.5 billion. Divide, 29.6%. Microsoft turned every dollar the owners had into almost 30 cents of profit in a year. You just calculated a return on equity from a real annual report. That is the whole skill. Now look hard at that fraction, because this is where the rest of the episode lives. Which of those two numbers is easier to change? Profit is hard, profit takes customers. But equity is the money the owners have in the company, and a company can hand that money back, buy back its own shares, and equity gets smaller. Same profit, smaller bottom, bigger return. Nothing about the business improved. Used properly, this number is one of the best questions you can ask a business. When you hand these people $1, what do they do with it? Microsoft's 29.6% is a real answer, and here is how you know. Over that same year, Microsoft's equity did not shrink. It grew from $268 billion to $343 billion. Because the company kept $64 billion of profit inside the business instead of handing it out. So Microsoft earned a high return on a base that was getting bigger. That is the hard way to do it. That is compounding, and it is the only version that keeps working. 2 rules before you ever trust a return: compare like with like. Return on equity, one company against another, same industry, same length of time. Fiscal years do not even line up. Microsoft's ends in June, Apple's in September, so last year means different things to different companies. And ask what the base did. A rising return on a rising base is a business. A rising return on a shrinking base is arithmetic. So let's turn the dial ourselves and watch what happens. The profit will not move, only the bottom of the fraction. A company earns $100. Owners have $1,000 in it, 10%. Now the company buys back half its own stock. Equity, $500, same $100 of profit, 20%. The return doubled, the business did not. Keep going, equity 100, a 100% return. The company looks like a miracle. Keep going, equity 0 and the number breaks. You cannot divide by nothing. Keep going and equity goes negative, because a company is allowed to hand back more than the owners ever put in if it is profitable enough for long enough. Now the fraction spits out a negative number for a company that made money all year. That is McDonald's, $8.5 billion of profit, minus 478% return, and not one thing wrong with the restaurant business. This is all legal, all disclosed. Every buyback is in the cash flow statement in public on purpose. Numbers don't lie, people make the numbers. Before we dust anything for fingerprints, look at what an honest version costs. Microsoft again, 29.6%, the lowest headline return of the 4 big names we are about to look at. And the only one that is entirely real. Its return is lower precisely because it kept the money. $64 billion retained, equity up 28% in a single year. The base got harder to beat and Microsoft beat it anyway. That is what a return looks like when nobody has touched the denominator. It is smaller, it is better. Now we dust. Level 1, MasterCard. A 193% return on equity. On paper, the best business in this episode by a mile. MasterCard's shareholders' equity, $7.7 billion. The stock it has bought back over the years, $83.2 billion. The return is not enormous because the profit is enormous. The return is enormous because there is almost no denominator left. And there is a way to check. Instead of dividing profit by the owner's money, divide it by everything the company owns, its assets. That number cannot be bought back. On that measure, Apple earns 31%, MasterCard 27%, Visa 20%, Microsoft 16%. Notice the order changed. The moment you use a denominator nobody can shrink, the league table rearranges itself. Level 2, AutoZone, and this one is a masterpiece. AutoZone sells car parts. It has been profitable every year for at least 8 straight years, $2.5 billion of profit last year. It has never paid a dividend, not once. Every dollar it has returned to its owners has gone out through buybacks. $20.7 billion of them since 2018, against $17 billion of profit earned in the same stretch. It returned more than it made. And so, on AutoZone's own balance sheet, shareholders' equity is minus $3.4 billion. Return on equity, minus 73% for a company that has done nothing but make money. Its board has authorized $40.7 billion of buybacks in total. This is not a scandal. It is a strategy stated in public in the filings for years. Level 3, the same company 1 year later, and this is the one to remember. Compare AutoZone's last 2 years. Operating profit down 4.7%. Net income down 6.2%. The business genuinely got less profitable. But earnings per share, the number investors actually watch, fell only 3.1%. Why? Because the share count also fell 3.1%. They bought back the shares. The buyback quietly absorbed about half the bad news before it ever reached the headline number. Nothing hidden. It is in the same table, one row down. Level 4, and now the returns being sold to you directly. In September 2023, the SEC fined 9 investment advisors $850,000 for one specific thing: advertising hypothetical returns. What if you had invested with us to the general public without the safeguards the law requires? The following April, it did it again. One firm, G-Sphere, had compared its own performance with dividends included against a version of the S&P 500 with the dividends stripped out. An unfair race in its own favor. It also advertised backtested results from 1950 to 2009 for a strategy it did not actually start using until 2011. And in November 2024, WAD Invest paid $250,000, partly for hypothetical returns, partly for paying professional athletes to endorse them without telling anyone they were paid, one of whom owned a piece of the parent company. There is a rule for exactly this. If a firm shows you its return before fees, it has to show you the return after fees right beside it, equally prominent, same time period, same method. Because fees are not a rounding error. The U.S. Department of Labor ran the arithmetic, put $25,000 away for 35 years at 7%. Pay 0.5% in fees, and you end with $227,000. Pay 1.5%, 1 extra percentage point, and you end with $163,000. 1% a year does not cost you 1%. It costs you 28% of everything you would have had. So, 3 questions, and you will never be sold a return again. 1. Over what period? A percentage with no time attached is decoration. Make them say the years. 2. Is that cumulative or per year? 300% over 20 years and 100% over 10 years sound wildly different. They are the same investment, about 7.2% a year, both of them. Cumulative numbers grow just by being left alone. That is not skill, that is time. 3. Is that before fees or after? If they will not show you both side by side, you already have your answer. And for a company, 1 check, 2 minutes. Find return on equity. Then look at whether equity is growing or shrinking and whether the company pays a dividend or only buys back stock. A rising return on a shrinking base is not a better business. It is a smaller denominator. If that was useful, subscribe. This is a school and it runs in order. Next, we go after the cost that nobody actually pays, the one that lets a company decide what its profit looks like. These are built from the company's own filings, and subscribers are what lets us keep making them. A return is a fraction. Somebody chooses the top of it. Somebody chooses the bottom. And somebody chooses how long to measure it for. None of that is illegal. Almost none of it is even hidden. It is written down in public by people who would rather you looked at the finished number than the recipe. So look at the recipe. Numbers don't lie, people make the numbers. Which number should we dust next? Tell us. This is education, not financial advice. Every company here is discussed using its own public filings, and every enforcement action is a matter of public record.